You can say we was frustrated or not. How long did the 20 minutes? 20 minutes. It's the thing is, if you play beautiful rugby and you lose, you lose. If you play boring rugby and you win, you win and people are happy. And we were totally on the wrong side of that balance on Saturday. And that's not because Tony coaches that way, and it's not. I think it's a trap that we also fell into against Italy in the first match when we were 25 points up. You tend to think things is now easy, and there's so much space here, and then a team like a proud country like Australia, then they just take the opportunity. So 100% right, we hope to do that on Saturday.
Rassie, it's obviously unfamiliar territory for you guys and then for everyone watching as well. If you could just give us a sense of unfamiliar territory for the players as well.
Yeah.
Just give us a sense of what that dressing room was like in the minutes and hours as a team together after Saturday, and then what the messaging has been from you to the players. I mean, has it been firm? What's the kind of stance at the moment, how the players responded?
Well, any training is afternoon or after lunch, Lloyd, but I know it's I can say different words to describe it, but everybody wants to find a solution. Is it the way? Is it the last message in the change room? Is it hey, when we're 22-0 up, let's put them away? Is it forgetting how desperate they are to? They've got the World Cup going in 2 years' time at home. There's so many things that we can find wrong. But then at the end of the day, we have to go and look, listen here, at this move, at this scrum, at this lineup. And I think his question is very valid. We always want to try and keep the traditional way we always play with some other things we're going to get right. I don't think the meeting was bad or in a tense way, because it's all adults. Sometimes we get upset with each other, but I think everybody's in agreement what we have to do to rectify that.
Rassie, can you just for you from the players' perspective, what do you feel you guys need to do this week in terms of fixing, correcting the wrongs, and then is there a clarity with what you need to do?
Yeah, I think great question. I think obviously we are all very disappointed with the performance on Saturday. The guys are hurting, but we did a review, we did our meeting, and I guess like Coach said, now we know what we need to do to get it right this weekend, and our main focus for us is to stack the positive this week and make sure that Saturday when we go out there, we have a clear plan and what we want to do and just execute it on the game.
Okay, and I'd just like to know, obviously you have been on the winning side for all your previous days, and suddenly you come on the field and you guys are behind, or the pace is lacking and the Wallabies are picking up. Can you just tell us, as a quite young and in that sense inexperienced player, coming on as a sub and suddenly things are changing very quickly, what was running through your mind? What did you think you had to do or change, or what was going through your mind when you came up and things were slowly starting to change?
I think we got comms from the coaching staff on what we needed to do and what maybe to try and swing the game around. I think that was just my message. I went on at wing, so we needed to get our kicking game going again. And I think that was just the main focus for me to go out there and just try and make a positive influence in the kicking game and putting pressure on Australia again. But like I said, we didn't manage to do that, and we won the pump. And I think like I said, it's very, very disappointing for us as a team, but we know what we need to do to get it right next week.
Stephen, and then Justin.
Russ, do you think that there could be an element of conditioning, and I don't mean that in a negative way, I mean it in the sense that obviously things have changed a bit in terms of how teams are picked from different parts of the world, so that whole Highveld factor may not be in your favour anymore. Do you think that might be a point, or is that,
Stephen, I think you are 50% right there. I think the one thing is we are chopping and changing teams. But there was a fairly settled team in terms of strategy and feeling pressure, knowing pressure, and so on. Credit to Australia. I mean, the wing is 20, the inside centre is 22, so they haven't played a lot of matches. Skelton comes from France. and he comes into the mix. I mean, their captain is a fairly young. I think he's 25, 26. So, but we've used in the last 10 years against them 67 players. I think it's now about 70, and it's worked for us. I really think our downfall was getting 22 points up, and if you then lose the momentum in a test match, it's very tough to gain it again. No, we've been together for almost 11 weeks this year, and really it's not a conditioning thing. It's maybe a little bit of rhythm, but hell, it was a terrible result getting into the rugby championship, giving them 5 league points, us having 0. But I don't think from the leagues all over the world. But I do think because we are trying to build squad depth, this last one was a terrible result for us, because we always want to keep the winning momentum whilst changing and giving guys opportunity.
As you speak about that winning momentum, and then there's the other side where people say maybe a defeat is a better lesson when it comes to continuing that momentum. So almost like to say you need to lose in order to improve and really understand where you need to build on, because if you're winning week in, week out, are you really learning a lot? Is that something that you also look at and maybe agree to when you think, you know, this defeat would have taught you guys a lot more in terms of what you still need to improve on in order to make sure that you get to a point where you want to be?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a philosopher, but you know, you must learn when you're winning also. When we were winning, there were some games where you just couldn't get to the third and the fourth gear, and it didn't improve on Saturday. So, but it's different when you lose and you come into a meeting and all the players sit there. You know, now they listen. They always listen, but now, oh well, we lost, and then so it does create a different vibe totally. And I think because obviously everybody's embarrassed. Nobody's feeling good about themselves. It's not lucky to walk in the streets and people are, ja, het gaan aan man, you know. So, and I think that just put more tightness together and make you more want to get it right. So yes, you look, we don't learn from a match like we played there, what we gave them on a platter sometimes. That also worked for a lot, but we tend to learn more when you lose.
Lloyd and then Ethan.
Yeah, sorry if I missed this somewhere, Rassie, but just are there any players unavailable for injury for the weekend? Concern of Sia, but
yeah, Sia's out knee, I think 4 weeks. Peter Steff, concussion. Kirtley, knee. Edwell, ankle.
all out.
Yeah.
Ethan, and then guys, Kanan's got to go. So if there's a last question for Kanan, please fire. Otherwise, he's got to go. Anand?
Yeah, I have a question for Rassie.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Kanan. Kanan?
And just in terms of the backline, we know it's quite an exciting backline. The one Rassie's going to put out probably this weekend as well. But Cape Town's looking like it's going to bring different weather to you guys. Is that something that you as the backs will be speaking about to each other? You mentioned sharpening up on that kicking game. You had a good kicking game, but furthering that into the game as the minutes go on. Is that the talk amongst the backs for this week?
Yeah, I think we obviously know we have to get it right this weekend. I think a big thing in that is having control and balance in our game. You know, defense complementing the attack confidence, playing well with the kicking game. So I think we need to get the control and balance right for this weekend, whatever may come. You know, weather-wise, just have to be ready for what's to come this week Saturday.
Cool. Kanan, you excuse? Mubin? I mean, sorry, Adnan and then you.
Sorry, Rassie, I had to ask this. You mentioned the fact that the mense will be and the fact that you're sitting here, just tell us why you decided to come today. You were at the press and explain it, and you're here again today. Just tell us what.
No, because there's some, Dion has to fix some things now. He said Dion is normally on Mondays. And we would love to give you the team now. We always pick the team on a Sunday. The players know Monday morning, and sometimes the program is just so tight. I swear it's not mind games when we do things like this. It's for our program on a Monday to function better. And Dion's got a pretty important line-out meeting now, and it's always this time. And our meeting went a little bit deeper, and I don't want rather Dion get the detail right there, and I can answer the questions. So it's just to be more productive. There's nothing else there.
Like
Oh,
now-
what you put,
No, I thought it was more about you taking ownership and taking.
No. Well, again, if Dion sits here and he answers questions, I don't want to sound like somebody rambling on, but if Dion sits here and answers questions about what happened on Saturday, and he's got a line-out meeting now which he wants to fiction, I mean, I'm part of all the meetings, and I can help him out today, that he can focus on what he must do.
Vloggers off, and then Ruben Stephen.
So Rassie, just another aspect of your game, you spoke about it after the Loftus game, basically the breakdowns and technically protecting your ball, so the cleaners coming a bit late, and also on defence as well. Has that also been something you've chatted about in the side, obviously, in this weekend? And also, you've spoken about Rassie, you've spoken about Sia not being available as well. Will Jesse or Irvin be captain? I know the team announcement is tomorrow, but who'll take over? Irvin, because on Saturday he took over, obviously, I'm not sure. And Jesse, so we'll take over the captaincy as well.
Not the team. I'm joking. No, Jesse will be captain.
Okay.
Jesse will be captain. Is that the eerste vraag?
Die breakdown.
Yeah, die breakdown, they gave us shots there. But unfortunately, Sia was 5-7 minutes before half time, he injured his knee. Marcus mouth got pinned, and we were just getting lack of momentum. There's no excuses. This is what happened on Saturday. I think we were already then 22-0 up, and from that kick-off, Marcus' mouth got pinned. And he had to go off for concussion test, and then Wacha had to come on, and then Peter got concussion. So it was a bit of a game, and then Kirtley got injured when they scored that second last try, and then Edwell went down. And that's the thing that we must be able to handle, and we couldn't. And they were great at the breakdown, and legally, both on attack and defence, they had our number there.
Rassie, obviously the conditions are potentially wet this week. Do you think maybe that a grind can be good for the guys in a way, because it will, be a bit close quarters, and I suppose desire plays it,
We would love all test matches to be grinds. I think Stephen, if you've seen most of the matches where we play, if it's a tight game and you wonder which way it goes, then normally we do well. And for some reason, when we get easy tries, there's a bit of a switch off, and that's something we must fix. But last week was also, I think, first half, just warm up, it started raining. And that had a lack of focus for the team, and at first couple of minutes it drizzled a bit, and the guys were keeping it really tight and direct, and I thought that helped us a little bit. But yes, I think from tomorrow till Friday it's going to rain, well, if the predictions are correct. But then again, you saw what Australia did to the Lions in that wet game, and how well they handled the weather there, so I'm not sure for which team it will benefit.
Rassie, Joseph Swali spoke this morning about, they made a big focus of how long drought they had winning at Ellis Park. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think 95 was the last time Australia won in Cape Town. But is that, keeping that winning record intact, also something that comes up during the week, during conversation, or is it just a matter of focusing on processes?
No, it does. We try to, like they do, set ourselves smaller targets in a year. Hopefully by hitting those smaller targets, you reach the big target. Obviously, I'm not sure if they're 5th or 6th in the world currently, but us losing that game, I'm sure we dropped a few, must be 4th or 3rd now, yeah? Third. And that's not ideal. Obviously, that's one of our goals, to try and do well. It would have been, I can't hide away from it, it wouldn't have been the first time in history that we beat them 5 times in a row. But again, they showed history is there too. They broke there. I don't think they've lost ever at Ellis Park. I think that's also
60,
60,
60.
yeah. So they broke that the thing. So so really that's it. Yeah. We also got the internal ones, but it's not the end of the world if you don't reach those internal small ones. You know, the big ones is to win the rugby championships, and then you're back against the wall there.
Sorry, Rassie, you just confirmed now with Jesse being captain. Just maybe your thoughts on what impressed him, why did he impress you? I think it was the Barbars game where he was captain for the first time, and just your views on how he went there and his qualities as a leader that why you have faith in him.
Probably because he's a guy that studies the opposition a lot, studies rugby a lot. I think he's 31, turning 31. But he's in tip-top shape. He can back up his words with actions on the field. He's I think by far one of the most professional players that I've been involved with as a player, and maybe even under a defender, the way they look after their bodies. But then he's also a guy that felt how it felt last weekend for the whole 80 minutes to lose against Australia. So he'll be really up for this game. And I thought the previous, he was 3 times captain now, 2 times, twice, I don't know. He's 3rd or 4th time. But he's always been, we don't announce the vice captain, and most of the times he's vice captain, or if Evans off and Sia's off, So we like to have normally a forward as a captain, but Jesse's always been a very pro, and he did really well in the first 2 games as the captain.
Happy with English? Can we go to Afrikaans?
Rassie, jy het nog genoem dat Sia vir tot 4 weke kan uitwees. Daar's wat 2 weke breek, een week breek voor julle New Zealand toe gaan. Is daar ras om gereed te kry vir daai New Zealandse tripie, want dit is 2 belangrike toets aan daai kant ook, of hoe hanteer julle dit?
Ja, ons hanteer dit maar medies. Ek dink is die scans het nog gewys is graad 2 knie. Party ons kom reg van 4 weke, party ons wat 6 weke het al gesien met Sia gedoen vir die vorige World Cup. Maar dit is nie 'n World Cup jaar nie, en ek hoop dit klink op enige manier arrogant nie. Maar dit is baie keer doelloos. Ek weet daai Eden Park is groot, maar Eden Park is niks as jy op Ellis Park verloor. Om op Ellis Park te gaan verloor en nie goed te doen nie in die Kaap nie. Nie te wen in die Kaap hier, dat is amper als jy jaag gedroom daar op Eden Park, maar jy kry dit nie hier by jou huis reg nie. En om ou so Sia's, jy Sia's 35 dink ek, om ou so hy te vroeg te try terugbring, en dan om so 'n game te gaan chase, en dan is hy vir die res van die jaar uit. So ons gaan uit en uit die dokter, ek dink dit is op 3 weke. Edwil ook, Pieter steeds wel reg wees. Jasper is terug vir die tweede game, obviously met sy skorsing. Damien Dalende is reg weer. Wie is die ander wat uit? Chesden is ook 100% reg. Ja, so vir mense is nervous om ons uit te, en dan kry ook baie keer afslaas as jy gekry het nie, omdat die ander ons goed gedoen het nie. Maar nou is jy weer happy dat hierdie ou is die naweek reg is.
Rassie, net in terme van Names nou verloor in die eerste wedstryd. Hoe belangrik is dit om nie dadelik soos panic stations toe te gaan en grootskaalse verandering in taktiek of spelers te maak in die aanloop tot die tweede wedstryd nie?
Ja, ek dink mense behoort aan nou te sien is ons spanne baie verander en paniek is, ons doen dit redelik baie, maar die groot veranderinge in die span te maak. Daar is redelik 'n paar veranderinge. Ons het eintlik al hierdie span 2 weke terug aangekondig, Australië 1, Australië 2, maar omdat hulle ons so pak slag het in die naweek. Ek het maar so 4 of 5 veranderingen nie gedoen. Ek weet nie, paniek is moeilik om te sê, paniek is as jy 'n punt verloor in 'n semifinal teen Wallis, dan dink jy jy kon hierdie game net wel verloor het en jy paniek vir die volgende game. Ons het een keer daar, het Jacques hoofcoach was, het ons 3 in 'n ry verloor, en die volgende game was New Zealand. En toe Jacques het reg gekry en toe wen ons New Zealand, daar het ons ek in op stadium, ons het 2 in 'n ry verloor, en toe so die derde keer ook die New Zealand weg gewees het. So, ek dink die span is gewoond aan druk, maar die hardste deel is die mense, ons supporters se teleurstelling, en ek dink dit sit lekker druk op die ouens, nie paniek, druk om beter te doen. Ek dink dis goeie druk. wel goed.
Rassie, ek wil net graag weet, natuurlik was hierdie nie die beste sportnaweek vir Suid-Afrika
Ja.
gewees nie, dit het ongelukkig hier by die cricket begin, maar ek wil net graag weet, natuurlik, soos jy nou net gesê, die ondersteuners het dit nie goed gevat nie, maar meer net oor, soos julle weet wat julle vir die ondersteuners doen, so, die eerste deel van my vraag is net, wat wil julle reg maak vir die ondersteuners volgende naweek, maar ook daarmee saam, ek dink julle is 'n groot katalysator vir ander sportspanne, ons weet volgende Sondag speel ons vrouens hulle eerste rugby wêreldbeker wedstryd teen Brasilië, so as jy al die momentum aan die gang kan kry, om dit oor te dra in die land en aan die vroue, ja, wat's net jou woorde daaroor?
Nee, so Rodriguez, ek het hom gekyk, ja, jy's like ons junior bokke het goed gedoen, gaan, as ek vir julle kan sê wat in 'n naweek aangaan, ons Protea netbalspan het as 'n groep vir ons 'n videoetjie gestuur, die sokkerspan, die groep Hugo Broos was daar, Swys hulle speel volgende week, ons, die mans en die vrouenspan, ons coaches gaan help baie keer by die vrouenspan, so, ou voel so of jy, by julle lekker cycle wat al so mooi opgebou het ons nog gaan opneek laas naweek, jy weet, en Rodriguez voel dit ook nou seker nie lekker nie, so, vir Swys in sy span, en, Cindy is nog aan, nee, Cindy die rekord, so, ja, sy, gisterand wel geluister op 'n interview op die TV, ek dink hulle groot goal is om te kyk of hulle in die quarterfinals kan gaan en dit sal 'n groot sukses wees en ja, ons sal vir hulle ook 'n videoetjie maak en ons het eers ons eie huiswerk nodig en hopelik kan hier volgende naweek sommer goed begin op alle vlakke. Die junior, die ander 18 oudjies het ook regtig goed gedoen. Albei Durban daai toernooi, selfs die A-span ook kan sê, daar's nou die A-span en die B-span wat daar gespeel, albei A-spanne het regtig goed gedoen, so ons cricket het ons ook lekker dopgehou, so ja, ou wil hy momentum verloor.
Ja, Rassie, dit is dit regverdig om te sê dat Suid-Afrika self die bokke in my ervaring hulle vaar beter as hulle met hulle rigting in die meere zijn, want dit
is nie net 'n vraag wat ek geantwoord het, ekskuus. Ja, dit is eintlik hartseer, mense wil graag verander. Jy weet, mense wil eintlik hoor ek probeer altyd wen. Moenie eens almal vir jou kant in die kop het nou gaan goed speel nie. Dit is so dis frustrerend. Nou kan ook soms sien hier, nie dat ek sê die spelers nie professioneel nie, maar na so verloor dan kyk almal sommer meer in die meetings en maar as ou so 'n bietjie jy het in Italië gewen met 20 punte, ja, moenie worry nie oor die tweede helfte. Maar as jy so 'n pak slaag kry, wat die laaste 6 minute is jy nie meer in die game nie. Dit is nogal 'n wake-up call. So ons is regtig nie meer so hopelik doen ons soos ons altyd doen.
Laaste vraag, Justin.
As jy die konteks soos jy gesê het, julle oorspronklik Australië 1-2 aangekondig is te span.
Ja.
Nou as nou wel 'n paar veranderinge, hoe hanteer jy daardie spelers wat nou sou gespeel het en nou nie gaan speel nie, of miskien nou op die bank gaan wees, selfs weet jy die spanne, hoe hanteer jy daardie spelers?
Nee, is maar moeilik. Is ons nou nie lekker om vir ou te sê, maar ons sê maar altyd, hoor die boys, ons werk almal saam hierso, ons is 35 spelers hierso. Hier is 2 spanne wat ons hopelik gaan speel, maar as ons momentum verloor, dan gaan span 2 verander. So, dis kom ek glo al die ouens so lekker saamwerk deur die week en die beste uit mekaar kry. En dan as 'n ou nou so groot hiccup kry, want hier was 'n goeie pak slaag wat hulle ons gegee het, dan moet ons maar net eerlik wees en verduidelik. Ons het momentum verloor en ons nou eers weer momentum terugkry voor ons 'n paar changes kan maak. So, maar net eerlik wees.
Ons baie dankie.
Ja.